Yes.
Good morning,
Good
Brianna.
morning. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm very happy. And welcome, Trainer Brianna, to my podcast, Fitness is
Thank
the
you for
Art of Life.
having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for showing up. Is it beautiful day? We just talked how beautiful day we have.
So
How blessed we
gorgeous.
are with the sun. And you know what? It's kind of growing on me like loving mornings. And
I love mornings. They're so peaceful, they're calm, and honestly, it gives me a minute to count my blessings, not my burdens.
oh,
It's
that's
like a
good
good
one.
way to start your day, you know? I just feel like that's just a great way to kind of be gracious, feel gratitude. Count your blessings, not your burdens. We all got stuff, but count your blessings. It's a good way to start your day.
I love it. You know, it's funny you said it. I was exactly saying to myself the same thing, how peaceful morning is.
Oh, good. The birds are chirping.
But even the thing that you don't have distractions. Like,
Oh, I
look, there's
know.
no people.
It's great.
You
You want to
just-
go work out?
we gotta do it sometime.
Yeah.
So, okay, I didn't want to butcher your name, but like when I see your last name, it sounds like the most Italian sounding name. In my head, it's just like Italian.
It
sounding.
is very Italian.
How you
So
pronounce it?
it's Occhiogrosso.
That's how I was thinking
Yeah,
it
so
would
it
sound.
means big eyes in Italian.
You do have
Yeah,
big eyes.
thank you. I love my culture. I know you're the same way. We love our heritage. We love our culture. So I'm proud of my name. I love it. But yes, it's very hard to pronounce, and I'm just hoping that it fits on a jersey for my son. And then when he
Okay.
plays sports, it's quite an extravagant last name.
It's cool.
Yeah, thank you.
So, okay, so since we get on the culture, as a trainer, you know, we have a big accent on the food and nutrition. How you square it with the Italian food?
It's hard. For me, I feel like the culture and the way the world is running right now, people are more apt to make healthier choices. So do I want to serve regular angel hair pasta on Sunday? Of course. But they give you the options now with cauliflower pasta, gluten-free, whole wheat. So I kind of try every now and then to make it a healthy version. Turkey meatballs or chicken meatballs instead of regular ground beef. I mean, I try to make little changes like that, but I have to be honest, I'm the baby of 6 and I grew up in the kitchen with my grandma. So when it comes to cooking,
Really?
like,
That's such a big family.
yeah, I'm one of 6, so I was the youngest. My parents worked, so they always shoved me in the kitchen with my grandma, and I love to cook, but she held no bars with olive oil, salt, pepper. That's just love. Like, that was how we showed love, like Italian culture. That I don't say I love you all the time, but I'm gonna serve you a meal that's like outrageous and phenomenal, and that's my way of showing love. So I feel like food, discussion, family, that's a big part of our culture. So that was a hard thing for me to break, to be able to say no to certain foods. I can't be eating a whole bowl of burrata
Well,
every day.
especially Italian food is so tasty.
It's so tasty and filling, full of dairy. I mean, it's just delicious.
It is.
But anything in moderation, right?
Right. In my head, I always kind of like explain it to myself, like, you can have either healthy or tasty. I don't know if that's a good way. I try to make it like simplistic to myself. Okay, today it's healthy, tomorrow it's
It's
tasty.
tasty. Yeah, no, that's a great way to go about it. It depends how disciplined, how focused you want to be. Like for me right now, I'm just trying to live a healthy lifestyle, show, my son a good way, how to go about being active and make good choices. He has berries every morning, but he's eating pepperoni and provolone at 3 o'clock for his snack. It's just part of culture. So we just kind of work through it.
And that's okay.
Yeah, of course it is.
Right.
Gives him a little girth.
Right. Because we need to have the roots.
That's 100%. And, my dad's 82, my mom's 75. So I have an older family. I have a brother that's 15 years older than me, so I'm a lot younger. So for me, it's important to pass that our way. That's what I said, our way, down to my son, because the next generation, they're losing all that. They're on the phone. They're just not as connected. The TV's off. We're looking in each other's eyes, eating, talking about our day. That's something that I remember doing as a kid that I think is really important in culture in general now
Right.
for this generation.
It is. It's very mindful parenting. I love it.
Thank you. I try.
Not only you want to share with your son your heritage, but you want to share with him the fitness culture.
100%.
Bring him to the gym.
All the
and,
time.
And you introduce him to the fitness life. And I was gonna ask you, like, how is it to be a trainer and a mom? Because that's definitely a challenge.
Oh, it's really hard. And to be honest with you, when I got pregnant with my son, I was not anticipating having a baby. I was a little bit older. I was 36. And I found out that I was pregnant 2 weeks after I left my full-time job. So I worked for a dentist who I loved. I worked for him for 15 years. Got paid exceptional money. He was like family to me. He's still family to me. And I was doing my NASM certification at night, like going on the computer at night just because I loved it. And I'll be honest with you, I taught spin here for a long time. I did group fitness, and I walked by those personal trainer offices all the time. And I said to myself, one day, I'm going to be in there. And I said,
Guys, about the dreams.
yeah, I mean, I said one day I'll be in there. And I spoke to my fiance and I said, listen, can you back me? I'll waitress at night, but like I need to really focus on the anatomy and physiology of my certification. I'm up for 6-7 hours at night studying. Like, this is really what I want to do. So I gave my bosses 2 weeks notice, and then I found out I was pregnant. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm pregnant. And now I have to be a trainer and make money and create a business and a brand, and it actually just worked out really well for me. I elbows deep studied. I didn't know how to study. I was 36. I didn't really do great in school. I was an athlete. I did good enough to be able to hit the field on Friday night, So for me, it just, that's what I had to do. Like, I had to get focused, and now it's difficult in a different way. If my son's sick, my business has to shut down for the day, and I let my clients know that head up. But
yeah, you're very transparent about, like, on your social media. Hey, my kid is sick.
Oh yeah, I mean, it happens. I have him in an early learning center, and kids get sick all the time. So, as a mom, it's really hard to run a business.
Your clients moms also, like a lot of them?
A lot of them are.
Misunderstanding, kind of?
100%. And to be honest with you, just where I am in my life, if I didn't have a son, I'd be here all the time. I'm busy. I have clients all over the place. I have the Division I athlete. I have the stay-at-home mom. I have the gentleman with cerebral palsy in a wheelchair. I have the 78-year-old woman who just has osteoporosis and wants to move. I mean, I have all spectrums. Yeah, so I love it. I just love to be able to do it. And but yeah, it's definitely challenging being a mom. But that's my job, really.
Sometimes our clients or just people who see us, like trainers, instructors in the gym, that they look up to us. Like these guys are like so dedicated. They're always here and all that. But I want to talk about this like human side. Like just being a mom. You have your challenges. It's all the chores and tasks that you have to do, and it's just like everybody else.
Just like everybody else. Right. But the important thing is, I mean, for me too, and for my clients, as a mom, as a business owner, as a woman, anybody, it's important for us to have our time. Okay. Mm-hmm. Human beings in general, I feel like we can't pour from an empty cup. So maybe my stay-at-home mom client who can only come see me once a week, this is her 1 hour for her. Right. So it's just so much bigger than that. Like, she, for 1 hour, isn't worried, is the baby eating enough today? Is the baby getting enough sleep today? Is my husband happy? Is the house clean? Nothing. It's 1 hour for you. And I feel like as a mom, I think it's even more important to do things for you. Because you get lost in that. You just want to do the best you can for your kids, and sometimes you forget that doing the best for you, being a happy mom, a healthy mom, that's the most important thing.
Don't lose your identity.
Don't lose your
identity. As a person.
100%.
Don't let the parent identity become your whole thing.
Right.
Because we're more than that.
100%.
Compartments.
And our kids are along for the ride. I mean, you said it, my son comes in here every day. That's one person in the next generation that's not scared of the gym.
Yes.
Ever,
I used to take my kids all the time.
Yeah, like it's just, I love it.
Yeah, it's great. You mentioned that you asked your fiancé for a little support when you had this transition time. And I feel like it's important to mention because, when some success happens, it's very rarely that it's in a bubble,
100%.
There are good people around.
Yeah.
Sometimes those are people that are close to us, and sometimes just strangers.
Right.
But they kind of like help us, and that's also important to have the appreciation of the people that help us along the way.
100%. I mean, my support at home is like unwavering. I mean, really. So again, that affects my business. To be honest with you, I don't have to show up to eat dinner. My husband makes sure everything's taken care of. So I'm here because I love it. And I love it when my son is in school or on a Saturday morning, or I love it when I'm not committed to my family. So I'm able to be me. I'm able to run my business. And I mean, some people say to me, how do you run your business from like 8 to 2 o'clock when your son's in school? Believe it or not, you make it work. You make that happen. But at the end of the day, I have an amazing support system at home, and I owe that all to him, It would be a different approach to my clients, a different approach to my business if every person I saw had to put food on the table.
Right.
And I'm not sitting here saying I'm a millionaire. I'm not. We just bought a house. We're saving. We want to go, to Italy. We want to do things. But I have, a very strong support system. My husband, who's exceptionally talented. He does well, and he grinds every day. So that part of life for me doesn't really, I don't worry about that. I worry when my clients are with me, I worry about making them feel good, and I worry about like keeping a good house at home. And
That's awesome.
yeah, just like I have a great support system, and I seem very independent, and I'm very like bossy, and sometimes like, I walk a certain way and carry myself, but at the end of the day, I would not be where I am without the support at home. And then also,
I think also it's important, like,
here
for some people to not to be afraid to reach for support,
Oh yeah.
Like, for example, talking about these moms, like ask your man, ask your parents, can I have an hour, 2 hours for myself,
100%.
It was like a big realization to me, because I used to work in the gym, in different gym, like as an employee trainer.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm independent, but prior to that, I used to work in the gym, and I, have like a packed schedule, like from the front desk, so they give you clients and all that. So I had like 6, 7 clients in a day, and that becomes a routine, person after person. And I remember talking to somebody, and that person told me how important that, we had actually 45 minutes trainings at the time, how important this 45 minutes was to her. And like you kind of get lost in this like amount of work.
Yeah.
But for that person, that was very special time for her.
Oh, absolutely.
And I realized, like, right, that's something special.
You're special.
That's okay.
Good catch. You're special. And I'm special. To our clients, we are very special. And that's something that we can't get that. That's just us being us.
Right.
You operate a certain way. You have a great following with what you do. People love you.
Okay.
That's not made up. That's just authentically you. The same with me. Like, that's just authentically who I am. So
And that's the way. I think you gotta be yourself. Like how long you can fake something.
100%. I think sometimes you have to kind of soften it or cushion things or approach it differently in life.
And also, there's this journey of self-discovery.
Oh yeah.
We change.
Yeah.
So that's also a good thing.
Absolutely.
We grow, change.
If you stay
develop.
stagnant, there's nothing good about that.
Right.
Always grow.
Oh my God, I had a thought I wanted to ask you, and you lost it.
You lost it?
Yes. But anyway, let's continue with something. So, you mentioned, I saw your post yesterday on social media that you said like your last cardio session was years ago.
Oh, you're going to do it to me, Marcin, aren't you?
But it's funny. But I don't like cardio also. It's like, that's the worst thing. I just can't do cardio.
Why? Why can't we do cardio? Like, why? We're trainers. We know better.
It's like,
Listen, I'll pop the earphones in. I'll get a good playlist. I don't know what it is.
okay. There's one type of cardio I like, and I actually like very much hiking.
Okay.
That's my favorite.
You like outside, my little nature boy?
Yes. And but on this treadmill bike, I just cannot. I just prefer to take the weights, go lift.
100%.
But okay, I wanted to ask you: is there like a reason from like the background, like sports background, that you don't do cardio? Because there are reasons.
I'm so glad you asked me that because no one has. Yes. Do you know what my reasoning is? I played basketball and softball in high school and college. So I move a lot on momentum.
Okay.
Weightlifting takes all that out. So for me, that's extremely challenging. Example, on the hack squat, I want to explode from the bottom. You understand? And that's not what we're supposed to do. Slow it up, control it down. So for me, that's just a major challenge, taking that momentum, that explosiveness out of it, calming my brain, shutting my brain up, and just going to work, just doing the work. I mean, it's a grind, it's a grit. I don't want to say I'm lazy because I'm not lazy, but when I feel like I want to get a little leaner and a little tighter, I definitely up the cardio. I love the stairs when I do get on it, but teaching spin is what got me in the door, and now I haven't been on a bike in like 6 years. I love to lift weights, and I'm sweating and I'm burning fat, and I feel like I'm doing everything that I need to do, but cardio is so important.
It is, but I also feel like there's like a little misconception that people think like, especially a lot of ladies think like if they only do cardio, they're gonna have amazing physics, and it doesn't work like that.
Never.
Honestly, if I would recommend to somebody, if you have just 1 hour for your training, do weightlifting. Just skip the cardio. If you had to choose.
I agree. I mean, if anything, lift for 45, end it with 15 minutes of cardio. I think it's important. I think diet, honestly, I think nutrition and diet is 90% of physique. I really do, of body fat, of it really is. It's everything about what you're putting in your body, the time that you put it in your body, the amount. I mean, you can say, 60% carbs, 30% protein, 10% fat. That's a broad spectrum. Right. Carbohydrates is a bowl of angel hair, or is it a sweet potato? Right. Or is it, 4 ounces of quinoa? Exactly. I mean, there's just so many options. So the thing I do like about social media, to bring up social media, because I don't like it on so many other levels, but there are so many different options as far as recipes, pages to follow, things like that. Things I didn't have, a long time ago.
Yeah, social media is a big, inspiring tool. It can be like, it has downsides, but if you use it right, it's a good thing.
I agree. I mean, I think if you don't get wrapped up in it.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, going back to the kids, it's just these kids, and we didn't have social media, and I feel bad for the kids growing up in this day and age, because we rode our bikes to our friend's house, and wherever the bicycles were on whoever's lawn, that's how you knew where we were. And it was a different time. So, like I said, I feel bad for these kids trapped in the phone. Put it down, get outside, get in the gym.
The first generation that really is like that.
We're not going to know really how it's affecting for another 10 or 15 years. I really, truly believe that.
Yeah, it's like experiment.
100%.
So we got to be careful on that. What is your favorite exercise?
That's a good one. Okay, so your last interview, you interviewed Greg.
Yes.
He's my trainer.
Really?
Yeah, so he's been my trainer for 7 years. And people would say, like, really, you're a trainer? Why do you have your own trainer? And this, that. You know why? Because I took my ego out of this game a long time ago. I'm not the best. I'll never be the best. And I love to work out. So I love to be told what to do, take my mind out of it, bitch and complain if I have to. You know what I mean? Be the victim.
Right.
So that way I can appreciate when I'm giving it to somebody else. I mean, I've learned so much from having my own trainer and setting that appointment for myself, because I'm here all day. So I'm not going to see 7 clients and then be like, oh, can't wait to do a shoulder pull today. That's not going to work for me.
Yeah,
so,
but some people say, like, why would you have a trainer if you're a trainer? Like, I heard that people saying, it's like, what, you don't know what to do? There's more to that. Like,
there's a lot more to it. I've learned so much working with G than I ever learned doing my certification.
Right.
I mean,
experience of your coach.
100%.
Well, I think that's in general reasons why you have a trainer. Even if you think you do exercise right, sometimes you just don't see yourself.
100.
But physically see, like from all the angles, right? So the person can correct you. Also, I was just talking about with somebody, and I think at times we get so obsessed about certain things about us, and it's such a narrow focus. And the coach can tell you, like, listen, you're wasting too much energy on that. It's counterproductive. Okay, let's see it in the broader picture. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of reasons to have a trainer.
Yeah, I mean,
even if you are a trainer.
Exactly. And so you asked me my favorite exercise, and I want to answer that, but my answer really was stemming from I hated upper body for a long time. Oh. I only wanted to do legs. I mean, I'm a leg girl. I love legs, booty, all hamstrings. That's just my favorite body part to work. But my favorite actual exercise is a squat, a nice heavy squat in the rack. I was scared of the squat rack for a long time, and now I will tell you, I see more women in that squat rack than men, and it is so inspiring. To me, there's nothing like it. I mean, I feel like that's my cage. I was so scared of it for so long. I wouldn't get away from the Smith machine, just the security of the Smith. And then, like I said, my trainer worked me up to the rack, and then, we were up to 2 plates on each side at one point. Like, we just, we really, now I'm down to 1 because we kind of fell off on the heavy. We go more calisthenics. That's the other thing. We go with weights, calisthenics. We just change it up so much. It's just made me a better trainer. It's made me physically better. Like I said, when you take your ego out of it, in anything.
And it's important that you mention that, because I think a lot of people who are not really immersed into fitness, they think that fitness people, fitness personalities are so ego-centered, but we're not so much. There are some people who are.
Right.
No, but a lot of times we're vulnerable.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But not for anything. We've put a lot of our time, energy, and brain into our education to get our certifications.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
it's a lot of anatomy, it's a lot of physiology. So I do walk in here thinking that I know a lot, and I do know a lot. And thank God for my clients that I do, because I wouldn't want the trainer that's like,
Yes.
what I know what I'm doing. I know what muscle groups I want to hit. But like, I mean, I hate to go back to G again, but he's taught me how to really sculpt a muscle. So simple things, biceps. Instead of like full curls, he'll have me break it up. So I'll go fulls, and then I'll do the bottom of the bicep. So I'll do halves for 7. And then I'll break it up and do the top of the bicep for 7. Yeah, so like those are things I wouldn't have done myself.
But you see, this is another misconception I think about, especially bodybuilding, that you would think it's such an individual sport, and on the outside it is individual sport.
Oh, for sure.
Just you, your character, the time, dedication, and all that. But the input of all these people on the way,
It's amazing.
like even you mentioned Greg here, you mentioned somebody else here to help you, this and that. That's how it goes. Journey, when we have these people helping us on the way, it's okay. It's a good thing.
It's a great thing.
We not always have to be like so self-sufficient. Something might be just counterproductive. It's good to be open to people. I don't know. I don't want to preach too much, but I think we should be more connected. You know, we should be open to other people.
I do too.
Vulnerable at times, and it can help you.
Yeah, I mean, listen, sometimes you have to get uncomfortable, right?
Right.
Growth happens when you're uncomfortable, whether that's working out, whether that's having an uncomfortable conversation, whatever the case may be, growth always happens when you're uncomfortable. So I say a lot of times to my clients, get comfortable being uncomfortable, because you're going to be uncomfortable with me a lot, and that's where you're going to grow.
Right.
And I think you have to trust somebody to be vulnerable with them, to be uncomfortable.
Yes. You have to feel safe.
100%. And I don't think that's necessarily the certification on the wall. I think that's how you carry yourself. I think that's how you present yourself. Your character, you know, and when you're here, people observe. I mean, you know, you think they're just here working out. People, they're watching. And they know, yeah,
Community,
it
right?
100%. It's a family, it's a community. And we're all here to grow. You know, the young kids sometimes behind the desk, they're like, oh, I want to be a trainer. I'll give them my notes from my NASM. I'm like, guys, read these notes. You know, if you need anything, let me know. It's just, we all have to eat. And you're different than me. So my client would probably benefit working out with you 1 or 2 times. Your client might benefit working with me. I mean, I do that a lot. You know, if I'm going to be out or I'm going on vacation, I'll have G take over a couple of my clients. And we work together because that's what it is. It's a community.
Right.
You know, I want everybody to get better. I have one specific client. She's my first client today. And she's just unbelievable. I mean, she came to me last August with a commitment, and she said, I have to make a change. Sierra, you know Sierra.
Oh, yeah.
And she was committed. She said, what do I need to do nutritionally? What do I need to do physically? She does her cardio on her own time. She sees me twice a week. She's tried other trainers for upper body. Now she's working with Greg. She loved Keith, did great with him. She's just a gym girl now.
Right.
And this is someone that was like extremely intimidated to come into the gym. You know, she'd hide behind a sweatshirt, and now you'll see her walking in here with her crop top, and she's strong and beautiful, and she doesn't want to be skinny, and I love that. Like, you know, she's just embracing who she is, and not, you know, in her case, she has like what she felt was a family curse, that her family is a bigger family.
Right.
She's breaking that.
Right.
Without kids, without motivation to break a generational curse, she's doing it on her own recognizance. And to me, that's like the most special thing.
I do see that fitness grows on people and give them confidence.
Oh, yeah.
Self-esteem increases
Tremendously.
especially like when you see somebody like just like out of high school and you see them so shy, like 3 years later, the same kids, they get a little muscles.
Oh, yeah.
They're confident,
Yeah.
you know, so it's great.
Those are also the kids that I really need to start re-racking their weights.
Oh, I was gonna ask you about it because that's a reoccurring theme.
I really need them to start doing that. Listen, I love the kids, I do, but listen, I run my business out of here. Okay, I charge a certain amount per hour. I take my business seriously. So when A client is paying me, and then we got the kids messing around, not racking the weight. I get a little wild in here sometimes, you know. I gotta let them know, but they act different.
We gotta educate the younger.
The younger kids
younglings.
need to know. The younglings need to know you have to re-rack, you got to wipe it down, and don't sit there on your phone for 5 hours. Do your set and go.
It's important, you know, like it's a common space. If you put your weights back, the next person have it easier. And it's not even that. Sometimes, actually Steve put it very nicely to me. Sometimes we have seniors coming here, and if you put like 45 pounds plate over like 5 pounds plate, they cannot lift it.
It's just not right.
Right, and this older person comes, they don't have strength. Maybe somebody's injured, they cannot access this.
They shouldn't have to.
They shouldn't have to.
It's etiquette.
Exactly.
It's etiquette. I mean, you go to a restaurant, are you throwing bread against the wall?
Right.
You just don't behave that way. I mean, that's just, I don't know, I'm protective of this place. I've been here for a long time, and
love it.
I love it. We're a
We should
family,
protect our
and
communities, our parks, our schools.
100%,
gyms.
100%.
If we don't, who's gonna do it?
And listen, I have no problem if I have 15 minutes between clients. You'll see me on the floor, and I'm fixing things. I'm racking the tree correctly. Because it's a team effort. And not only that, you lead by example. These people see the trainers re-racking their weights, wiping things down. Hopefully they follow suit. I mean, I feel like we need to lead by example.
Yeah, I agree though. I just showing my son the other day. I was taking trash out, and then there was just just trash on the floor on the street, and I picked it up and I said, "Listen, that's not my trash, but I made the place better than I found it."
100%.
It was just one thing, like I don't know, a card box, whatever.
How old's your son?
He's 12.
Aw, fun.
Yeah. So, and he was like, "That's not my trash," and I said, like, "Yeah, that's not my trash either, but."
It's
You
the
can-
right thing to
you
do.
can make
Pick it up.
better. And that's how much it cost me. 1 second to
Right.
pick it up.
Right.
The same here, this little input, but like you have 1,000 people, the little input, it's a big thing.
100%.
What would be your advice to somebody who comes into the gym for the first time, and they're confused, they don't know what to do?
Well, at our specific gym, every time you sign up or you want to come check out the gym, you're entitled to a tour. So if there's trainers that are available, a lot of people don't know this, but if you ask one of us, we'll show you around real quick. I always say, yeah, at least get a tour. Know what you're walking into. And know, if what's your style. Like for me, when I first came here, I did not even go near the weights. I was a group fitness girl. So I was in the spin room, or I was with you kickboxing, or you know what I mean? I was all over in the group fitness aspect of it.
Right.
Find your niche. Get a tour. Get a friend if that's what helps you. I mean, I think a buddy system is always fun too. And get a trainer. I mean, there's no better way. I tell my clients all the time, I don't want you to need me forever. I want you to walk in here and manhandle all of this equipment and be like, "Hey, Brie, how you doing? Have a good day. How's your coffee? How's Vincenzo?" I don't want them to need me. I want them to do it on their own. But sometimes they're looking at these machines can look very confusing.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm pulling, if I'm pushing. They don't know what the heck's going on. So, I mean, 2 clients I had last month, they were older women. They just wanted me to show them how to use a couple machines and write down a little routine for them. So that's what I did. I typed it up and I said, let's meet in 4 to 6 weeks. Do this for a couple weeks. If you need me, I'm here. That way they're not committed every week. Certain people can't afford to come every week. They just want to learn how to use the equipment. So, that's another thing in this business. You got to did I ever think I'd be doing that? No, but I'm like, how can I help her?
Right.
She can't afford to come see me every single week for 1 hour. She wants to move her body. What can I do? Okay, I could do 1 hour with her, type it up, have it ready, and then send her to fly. And when she's ready to move up, we do that again. There's just...
A lot of trainers, instructors, we just go by this vision and mission of having people healthy and fit and all that. Of course we want to have our livelihood, we connect our career life with it, but
Yeah.
We just want good for people.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing like when you go become a nurse, you don't think, oh, I want to have this patient or this patient. You just want to help people.
everybody.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And so the same thing, so people should know that about the trainers. And I know there are some places in the gyms that when the trainers are not approachable and stuff, but I don't like places like that. But definitely not here.
No, I don't think so. And to be honest, I don't know about any other places or any other trainers. This is my only experience here. I love Steve, our owner. I love Tina. It's like a family. So I I don't think I would run my business anywhere else. I mean, during COVID, I would go to Riverhead High School. So I had my insurance policy cover, like umbrella to like a couple local high schools just because the gym was closed. And I would take all my equipment, like a couple kettlebells, some dumbbells, a jump rope, and I'd train people on the field. And that's fine, but I wouldn't want to be in another facility. Like if I ever leave, it's because I'm just like done working. Like I hit the lottery and I don't want to work anymore. Like I would never want to be anywhere else. This is my home. I feel like a lot of people that train here and a lot of people that work out here, like Tina's been here for 100 years. I've been here forever. You've been here. Greg was, I mean, everybody.
I talked to some guy who came here and he says like, I've been here with this owner, the previous owner, and somebody else, and I'm keep coming back. And yeah, again, like to a lot of people, it's just a building. For many people, it's just a part of their life.
Oh, I mean, and it's funny, you'll know because it's mental.
Yeah.
It can almost turn bad in some ways.
Yeah.
Because I've had clients that are injured or they pull their back out and they're like, I can't miss a day. And I'm like, come on. That's a mental thing. Yeah. You know, you have to be able to also be content in your skin to sit down and just be.
Well, that's a big thing that people. Okay, I always say everybody, like out of all the addictions, being addicted to fitness is probably the best thing.
Yeah.
Seeing the destructive consequences of other addictions. But there are some people who have addictive personality, simply, and they just like, once they get into something, they're just so hooked up on it. But like you said, sometimes you gotta step back to heal. The injuries, it's not a joke. It really is not.
No, and I mean, not even.
And I think as a trainers, we have to kind of like say, like, out of people in the back, like, injuries is not a joke. Because if you hurt yourself and don't heal it, the injury comes back. And almost always.
And it always, I mean, 9 times out of 10, it's going to affect something else as well.
Right.
So if it's a knee that goes bad, that goes into the hip, the lower back, the IT band, sciatic nerve issues. There's so many things. Listen to your body. That's just always what I say. I mean, a client will call me and they'll be like, I'm so sore today, but I'm going to come in. And I'm like, no, you're not. You're going to take an Epsom salt bath. You're going to stretch. You're going to hydrate. You're going to eat some protein for me. And then we're going to hit it in 2 days. Like, I mean, other trainers might say, sure, come on in. We'll hit a different body part. But again, I think that goes back to the financial aspect of it too. It doesn't make me any better that I'm not in it for the financial aspect, but it also gives me a different perspective.
And it's important to have a trainer in those situations because sometimes you have to tell them to stay back, but sometimes you have to show them how to return from injury to healthy movement.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's not easy sometimes because you need to know the proper warm-ups and like rotator injuries, for example. Those are terrible. Like,
horrible.
So much pain.
Knees too. I mean, one of my specializations is sports performance enhancement. The other is injury prevention. For that reason, just because you can never be too prepared. You can never be. I had a total knee replacement already on my left knee. I need one on my right, just from being, in sports for so long, contact sports. So I don't want that for anybody. I mean, I want people to just be healthy and do things the right way. But also, people are people.
Right.
So I can tell people till they're red in the face, you are not working out today, and they're still here, and they're on their treadmill, and they're working out. So, Good morning. How are ya?
So we'll be wrapping up.
Sounds good.
Thank you
for having me.
That was awesome. I hope people are gonna enjoy it and learn something because I think we had some educational moments. Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, it's a different talk when you're talking to a mom or a woman or you just get a different perspective.
Also, like, as a trainers, I think we sometimes use just the vocabulary and language that other people don't, and it's like expanding their understanding of fitness.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. Such a pleasure.